Okay, I'm calling the tracks done for now. Used a very dark metallic mix. I used chrome silver, I used flat black, I used some red brown, then more black. You, you, you don't want it to be super shiny, but that brings out the detail. I oversprayed them before the dry brushing. I oversprayed them with a new mix that I never used before. I mixed some NATO brown with some flat earth and a touch of buff. It's a color like this, kind of a rusty. It's more noticed here. These are the ones that'll go in the lower glacis plate. Again, not a big fan of the lines, but the overlook I think will be fine. Then I have plenty. I'm probably gonna use more of the spare track links on the top of the front, then on the front of the main tank where the machine gun and the driver's visor is. Seen a lot of pictures of tanks of this period adding track links there, so I think it'll be a nice detail and something different. Might still dust up the track links a little bit more. Can always do that later. Next step is probably covering the tank that I have over there, covering the lower half. Flip it and start working on the upper area. Probably before that, I might do a little pass with some other colors here to give it a little bit more variety. Okay, coming along. Normally at this stage of the build, I would leave the running gear on, basically 95% done. I would put the tracks on, and then I would cover everything below the fenders as best I could with paper towels, as to avoid getting overspray some, as I'm gonna start working on the top side of the vehicle. In this case, since the wheels were relatively easy to remove, decided to remove them, put them away, flip the vehicle, and start working on the top side. A word of caution: many of these pieces are 3D printed. They're not styrene, they're not fiberglass. I'm not saying that the pieces are fragile as glass, but you got to be careful. Pushing one out, pushing the idler out. I pushed on this piece here, it snapped, it's hollow. Taking one of the idlers, the return rollers here, it kind of came out the inside. I had to take it out with some tweezers. So you got to be careful. So just because it looks like a neat system, you press them on, you press them off, hold a piece, take it out. Be careful, because it's not fragile as glass, but it's not as strong as fiberglass either. Okay, so now that the next step, it's a simple one. It'll be flipping the vehicle. I have put some tape here so that these hatches wouldn't be flopping all over the place when I was working on the lower area. It was not too successful. I'd probably recommend taping them from the inside if they ever went upside down again. But hopefully this vehicle will never be upside down again. Here I can now top down. I know it was okay from the bottom up, so I can do a little bit more of the weathering here. Good thing it's not covered. Of course, a lot of these areas will be covered by the wheels, but I'll do that next, and then start with the basic pencil gray color for the top. I already painted a while back the turret. The turret's got little wheels on it. You know, I've mentioned it before, but this tank on a soapbox type of run would probably beat any other tank, even motorized ones, because this baby can roll. Okay, all right. Next time around, I would have finished down here a little bit more of the weathering, and just on the very low part. The top part, I like how it looks, and then I'll start painting the top and everything like that. This is the area. See, I'm gonna, again, I did this tape was so that these, and this model are all these doors that they open, which for me is okay, but you know, this is not something that was used by the crew. The crew would have used these doors, the emergency on the side. This is more access to the transmission and that sort of thing. This is the area that I'm planning to put extra tracks. Already shown these in the usual position, but I'm probably gonna also put extra tracks here, which will be, have to take out some, and then here, here, and here. Seen many pictures with those. I've seen some even with track links here. Kind of overkill. I definitely got enough track links, so I might consider that. This might look cool. Again, it would be very typical for a tank like this one, who was a main character in the summer of 41, by the summer of 42, to have all these additions, because after 1 year it was already obvious that the front armor was not sufficient against the Russian T-34. Okay, so we'll keep going, making progress.